Well, after that exhausting trip to Upside Down Land, I figured it'd be good just to hang out on a bench outside of Citizens Bank. The woman inside there told me I couldn't videotape in there, so that's why I'm out here. I was at the ice cream aisle. Yeah, I actually bought 2 pints of Breyer's ice cream 2 weeks ago to celebrate Stephen Breyer retiring. Trevor Nomi joked about that. And he said, it's not Stephen Breyer trying to focus on the Brandon. Joe and Seth Meyers said he liked the idea of making a billboard to target one guy because of Stephen Breyer, because that's they're doing his Breyer trial. They want Stephen Breyer to retire so that Joe Biden can recruit another Democrat Supreme Court justice who's black, female, and has the right talent and qualifications for the job. And Seth Meyers pointed out that Republicans aren't. If only Republicans are allowed to govern like what Mitch McConnell wants, it's not a democracy. But anyway, the point is, Breyer's ice cream is fun, right? So I love ice cream, but who loves ice cream even more than I do? Patrick Starr. He got super excited at the prospect of free ice cream when SpongeBob was trying to give everyone free ice cream to stay out of the Goo Lagoon, and SpongeBob got on duty. Then he almost drowned in the Goo Lake, which is SpongeBob plays fast and loose with the water, such. Camp Coral. There's an episode of Camp Coral where SpongeBob and Patrick and Sandy and the rest of the campers all had fun swimming in the pool beneath Camp Coral because they're all sea creatures, except Sandy, who had her astronaut suit. And they had fun partying down there, but Mrs. Puff was worried about them all disappearing because she's supposed to watch them and to make sure they don't drown in Camp Coral. And now I really think we have it anyway. When Squidina. So here's the thing about the ice cream. When Squidina said, well, looks like we're doing another ice cream show in the episode of the Patrick Starr Show, Enemies a la Mode, it indirectly reminded me of the Goofy Newbie because that was Squidina's second appearance in SpongeBob SquarePants before the Patrick Starr Show, and it's the only time we got to see them together before the Patrick Starr Show. Now, something that's pretty common for other SpongeBob characters with we don't see now inconsistent character designs are something you see a lot with episodic cartoons like SpongeBob SquarePants can't agree on a consistent character design for characters we rarely see, like King Neptune. King Neptune in the SpongeBob movie looks and sounds different than he does in the series. And the other seasons also had several different designs for Old Man Jenkins, and unless they have multiple characters named Old Man Jenkins. And Goons on the Moon is one of the few episodes where SpongeBob with more focus on female characters than male characters, like Ball Girl Pearl and Girls Night Out. Except that unlike those other 2 episodes, SpongeBob has a primary role in this as much as SpongeBob's role in Goons on the Moon is as big as Sandy, Squidina, and Pearl have. And since Pearl and Squidina are friends in SpongeBob, I like to see them together in further seasons of SpongeBob, as long as the character designers of SpongeBob let Squidina keep her nose that she has in later seasons. They let her keep her nose in later seasons of SpongeBob SquarePants, because they noticed in the Patrick Starr Show, she has a nose when she's shorter than she originally appeared in Goons on the Moon and the Goofy Newbie. I mean, it's okay that they make Squidina tall again in SpongeBob and later SpongeBob seasons, as long as they don't forget to give her the same nose. When Squidina said it looks like we're doing another ice cream show in Enemies a la Mode, it reminded me of Krabs No, wait, not Krabs all mode. It reminded me of the Goofy Newbie because that was another instance where Patrick was, Patrick went crazy for ice cream. He was addicted. Patrick went crazy for ice cream. He didn't go crazy just for ice cream. He went nuts for ice cream. Yeah, figuratively and literally, he went nuts for ice cream. I mean, I guess in Squidina's, I guess when they were building Squidina's character before the Patrick Star show, Squidina was also. Squidina's age is pretty interesting because she was a kid who's playing with, Pearl and Goons on the Moon, but I guess she's older than the Goofy Newbie because she's old enough to work at an ice cream joint. Mr. Arnold didn't like Camp Coral because it stands off potential that SpongeBob originally had, where he and Patrick are young adults who act like kids, and there's less potential for stories when they actually are kids in Camp Coral. Since Squidina is younger in the Patrick Star Show than he was in her SpongeBob debut in Goons on the Moon, I guess Camp Coral also uses Patrick, SpongeBob, and Squidina, but much less so than Camp Coral because Pearl's a baby in Camp Coral, so Squidina wasn't even born yet. Yeah, I don't think SpongeBob says don't usually love to each other, so when Squidina and Enemies a la mode said it looks like we're doing another ice cream show, I don't think they really wrote that with their Patrick and Squidina's previous ice cream related appearance in mind, but whether it's a coincidence or not, it definitely reminded me of the Goofy Newbie because that was. It reminded me of the Goofy Newbie because Squidina had a small role in the storyline, but she was definitely there she was there for the beginning when Patrick kept trying all the free samples of ice cream. So that's why the Enemies a la mode reminds me of the Goofy Newbie. Even if that was unintentional on the writer's part. And the thing is, I didn't really like the Goofy Newbie as much as I did my first time watching it because now I realize it's a longer version of Pat No Pay, but in reverse. Instead of Patrick eating all the Krabby Patties and having to do jobs to pay them off, but he keeps messing them up. In the Goofy Newbie, he gets a job at the Goofy Goober just so that he could eat free ice cream on his lunch break. But he keeps messing with his jobs. The only job he actually came close to getting done right was cleaning the dishes, and that's just because he licked the ice cream off of them. But then he melted all the ice cream he put in the freezer because it was too cold for him to walk in there. And then when it finally is Patrick's break, he eats so much ice cream. It freezes the whole Earth in ice cream for 5 billion years. And then after 5 billion years, the Earth melts and aliens finally arrive in ice cream spaceships. So now I know why that old Goofy Goober film reel told us to believe in aliens. Oh my gosh, it was founded in 1842, which means the Goofy Goober turns 180 years old this year. Oh, you know that song from the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, right? Oh, I'm a Goofy Goober, yeah. You're a Goofy Goober, yeah. We're all Goofy Goobers, yeah. Goofy, Goofy, Goober, Goober, yeah. But yeah, Enemies a la mode is much better because, Enemies a la mode was much better because with Squidina, Patrick's not trying to get a job this time and not just messing up a job this time. And it's not just, it's a better execution of the same idea where he's just chasing after the ice cream truck. And there's more variety in the story because it's not just Patrick. And, Steven Hilberg said Patrick got himself maybe too much, so which is why I think he introduced Squidina in season 11 so that one day his producers could make a spin-off with her and Patrick together. Squidina is just the nerdy girl we needed to balance Patrick out, who's just the right combination of SpongeBob and Sandy, and just what Jill Talley needed to have a character in the SpongeBob universe destined to be as iconic as SpongeBob himself, which is why we must support the Patrick Star Show by any means necessary. Watch it when it actually airs on Nickelodeon, so it can get renewed past season 3 like the original SpongeBob was. I mean, probably be lucky if it even gets that far, if it even makes season 3 at all, which I really hope it does. Cross your fingers and cross your heart. Yeah, there's more variety in enemies all mode because Squidina and the tangents that actually did connect to each other. Patrick, Squidina showed us an earlier clip of Patrick with a sea bunny fighting Alchie, the pet urchin. And then there's these bigger mouse traps that eventually slice the earth in half, which also slices the house in half. Squidina Patrick's house in half. They chase each other in rock, and then Patrick and the sea bunny and Alchie chase each other in rockets because the sea bunny wants Alchie to share his food with him, and this is what came out of Patrick's segment on nature. And I guess that watching that clip inspired Patrick to make his own rocket out of tape like those two, so that then he could catch up to the ice cream truck. And then Squidina asked Bunny Star and Grandpat Star who their enemies were, and which I guess circles back to the ice cream man who won't share any ice cream with Patrick being Patrick's enemy. And Grandpa had a lot of interesting things to say about ice cream being prohibited. Ice cream and dairy were prohibited. To make a long story short, Patrick does eventually get his ice cream and jumps out of it when he hides in a bush and jumps out. Like, yeah, it's a funny stealth pun. He ambushed the ice cream truck. And then Squidina closes off the episode saying, "Oh, that's our show. I hope you learned a lot about enemies, or ice cream, or toaster repair." Yeah, like I said, Squidina's a really great girl who's I think is a very good combination of the best traits of Sandy and SpongeBob. She's just what the foil Patrick needed to make a spin-off about him work. And I guess Steven Hillenburg's crew of producers listened to Mr. Enter when he said that, SpongeBob Camp Coral sands off potential that was in the original SpongeBob, which is why they make a spin-off with Patrick with more potential in his imagination, because it's a talk show in his imagination. And they started developing the Patrick Star Show 1 year after that video about why he wouldn't review Camp Coral, which I assume also applies to the Patrick Star Show. But he may have different thoughts for that, if he ever does want to talk about it. By any means he could, without actually reviewing it. Yeah, so Jenny Monica. My mom and I think that having more SpongeBob adding more new female characters in season 11. The Lady Uppington, Helen the Felon, Squidina, and Marlene from Camp Coral, who sounds like the voice actress for Sailor Mercury, hilariously trying to and succeeding in doing the country accent that Carol Lawrence does for Sandy. We think this is all of Jenny Monica, associate producer season 7, he became line producer season 8, and then a major building, and the producer of the major building, the opening credits in season 9. I'm sure she helped to push SpongeBob to have more recurring female characters in it. Since they do have a bit of a problem with Sandy, the most appearing female character being a land creature, not a sea creature like SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, and Mr. Krabs all are. So, yeah, Squidina, she's Tom Kenny's husband. SpongeBob. Tom Kenny's the voice of SpongeBob. Tom Kenny's husband, Jill Talley, now gets to play. She gets to play the female co-lead of Patrick Starr's show, which is why I thought it'd be a good push for, like, I'm sure Jenny Monaco would accept my pitch for SpongeBob's and Senior Executive Vice President woman of Nickelodeon of Talent, the president of Talent, wherever they are. I'm sure they'd approve my pitch of. Oh, good, the camera's still rolling. I'm sure they'd approve my pitch for Tabitha St. Germain as Zoe Fisher to be SpongeBob SquarePants, the character and the show's female co-lead. When I write spec scripts for the 15th season, I want it to be Tabitha St. Germain because she's the only main cast member of Fender's Magic of the United States. Terry Strong lives in the United States, but she was born in Canada, and even though Tabitha St. Germain told me at the 2018 BronyCon she doesn't want to move from Vancouver to Los Angeles for warmer weather like Cree Summer and Terry Strong did. And Cree Summer, of course, is the woman who voices Bunny Star in the Patrick Star Show. I still think if it's possible for actors to email their lines overseas or over borders, so if Tabitha St. Germain is willing to work at SpongeBob, because she and Tom Kenny used to also be part of the cast of the Cram Twins, I'd love to have Tabitha St. Germain be SpongeBob SquarePants' sixth main female voice actress, so that then we'll have 6 male actors and 6 female actors that they regularly use in SpongeBob. And I could still, even if she never comes to the United States, I could still have Tabitha St. Germain record lines in Vancouver for other cartoons based in Los Angeles we want. So Zoe Fisher, she's going to be a blue fish with a green apron dress hybrid, and she'd be a Zoe Fisher's female co-lead. I want to add to SpongeBob SquarePants. She'll be like she'll be a friend of SpongeBob like Squidina, Patrick, a straight friend. Zoe would be a new employee at the Krusty Krab after Mr. Krabs is after the board of the fast food restaurants, I guess, recommends or requires or forces Mr. Krabs to hire a 3rd employee to get work done faster. And Zoe Fisher turns out to be just the gal he's looking for, who is just as commanding and organized as him. Since Zoe Fisher is able to bully him into being less cheap and learn to afford to pay 3 employees instead of 2. And Zoe Fisher is a really good cook. But since Zoe Fisher's family, Zoe Fisher is someone who, she was with SpongeBob in Poseidon Elementary School, but one of SpongeBob's friends, and her family has their own, they have their own family home restaurant. But the reason why Zoe is working with SpongeBob is because Zoe's an excellent cook, so she has all the equations used for the job, and she's also good at cleaning tables when SpongeBob isn't there and Squidward are too busy to do it. And she can also get done other little jobs with Mr. and encourage Mr. Krabs to work with her, and I guess even become the assistant manager. But the reason why Zoe got kicked out of her own family restaurant is because the reason why Zoe's working with SpongeBob is because she got kicked out of her own family restaurant for being too bossy, which is much more believable than her being a bad cook, because otherwise why would she even be good enough for Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob to hire? So that's why I do the plan with Zoe Fisher. Zoe Fisher will be SpongeBob's close female best friend and older sister figure, in a similar way to how Squidina is Patrick's close female friend and close female best friend and younger sister figure in the Patrick Star Show. And here's a fetch us if you want. Regarding the titles of Krabs a la mode and Enemies a la mode, I learned that a la mode, at least according to Google Translate, a la mode is not really French for with ice cream. I learned that a la mode is actually Spanish for in style and French for fashionable. So even though the titles do have something to do with ice cream or the Krusty Krab being frozen because Sheldon Plankton turned down the thermostat from 62 degrees to negative 15, 15 below zero. Krabs a la mode is really French for fashionable crabs, and enemies a la mode is really French for fashionable enemies. Yeah. And to hear all along, I thought it was Spanish for crabs to the mode and enemies to the mode because of the all out part. But yeah, a la mode, remember that everyone, a la mode is really Spanish for in style and French for fashionable. I mean, I guess if you change the title of La House Crimes of Fashion to Fashionable Crimes, it could also be known as Crimes a la mode. Well, that's my video. Sorry for rambling too long about Squidina Star, Jenny Monica, and Zoe Fisher. Thanks for watching this video. Here's hoping that we can get that we can buy the Patrick Star Show, you know, to pay for Nickelodeon to get it to 100 episodes.